friends, welcome back to my channel. Sass here. I'm here to do the review of Life After Lockup, Love After Lockup. For some reason I thought this week's was the season finale, but it's not. Season finale is next week. This was a good episode, okay? I enjoyed it. So let's get into the foolishness. Now let's start off with Andrea and Lamar. Y'all, what was going on with Andrea this episode? Did she eat some of them Utah chitlins? And this done went to her head. Alright, so Andrea is meeting up with her best friend. Okay. And she is sitting there telling her best friend that Lamar is warming up to the idea of living in Utah full time. And didn't even crack a smile. Now her best friend looked at her like she had two heads, okay? Because she knew that something wasn't right in the middle, okay? Something ain't clean. Because she had spoke to Lamar at that barbecue and she knew that he was not warming up to Utah. Now 5 minutes before she met up with her best friend, Lamar is already agitated, okay? They was at home, he was agitated, he was mad, he was angry. You know, Andrea was like, listen, we just need some time apart, all right? He's sitting up in the car and he said he's sick of Utah, all right? He ain't gonna get baptized. He tired of the Mormons. They showed a little snippet of him. He said he's ready to get back to Los Angeles, to the smog. He don't care nothing about Utah's clean, fresh air. Utah don't even have ice cream trucks. And then he said that Utah don't have chili cheese Fritos. I said, you got to go, Lamar. That's blasphemy right there. What you mean they don't have chili cheese Fritos? They are delicious, Utah. If you don't have chili cheese Fritos, y'all need to get on that. Because they're delicious and they make a mean dip. And you go ahead, you put together some chili cheese Fritos with some chili, pour them over some fries, chili cheese fries. Put some cheese on that. Sliver some onions. What you talking about, Willis? That is some type of good. Now you may get a heart attack, but it's all worth it. But let me get back to what I'm supposed to get back. I got off track when I found out there was no chili cheese Fritos. Now what's that talking about? But anyway, I move on. So, Andrea, she said that he is warming up to Utah. So her friend's still looking at her. She's like, he is? Question mark. Andrea said he sure is, and we're not going back. We are not going back to Los Angeles. Myself, my kids, or Lamar. In fact, my kids are on their way back from Los Angeles to here. Okay? We're not going back. So the friend was like, well, what are you talking about? How is that even possible? She said, listen. She said, I'm not going back to LA. I'm tired of the hood. I'm tired of the Ministry Society friends. I'm tired of not having friends. I'm tired of being, without my Mormon family. I'm sick of it, okay? I'm sick of the ghetto ways, okay? I'm moving back here, all right? I got to be around y'all. That's it. I'm sick. That ain't for me. And he going to stay here whether he like it or not. So her friend was like, listen, okay? What you need to do is just talk to your husband. She was like, no, there is no talking, all right? All right, this is what I did, all right? He can't go back because I took his birth certificate and I took his debit card. And her friend said, you did what now? She said, let me repeat myself. I took his birth certificate and I took his debit card. Okay, he here to stay, all right? Now, my question to you, friends, why was he traveling with his birth certificate? What is that? I don't understand that. Is it because he's a felon and he needed his birth certificate? Because I've traveled, I flew within the United States, and I didn't carry my birth certificate, so why did he have his birth certificate? Can someone answer that for me? All right, move on. So her friend was like, wait a minute. No. All right, no, you can't do that. And she was like, oh, He's never going back. And then her friend said, he ain't never going back to LA? She said, he ain't never going back, okay? This is his home now. And as a friend, you need to come with me. You need to help me. I need your help. We in this together. Honey, her friend said, oh, not today, not tomorrow, not next week. You got me effed up. If you think that I'm going to be part of this foolishness, these schemes, being deceitful. She said, you got scheme on top of scheme. She said, you know that's going to blow up in your face. She was in that confessional going, Lord, I don't know what is wrong with Andrea. She knows that this is not going to work. It don't even sound like it's going to work right. So she looked at Andrea as a friend should, and she was like, no. Okay, terrible, terrible move, all right? You are married to this man, all right? You need to talk to this man, all right? And so Andrea said, oh, we beyond talking, because guess what else I did? Now, that ain't enough. I talked to his PO, and I said that he can finish his parole in Utah. Her friend was like, Lord have mercy. Now, I know you didn't. You done did all this behind your man's back. You didn't even talk to your husband about this. What is wrong with you? And she was like, this ain't right. And so Andrea said, what do you mean it ain't right? She was like, listen, this ain't right. I don't want no parts. Andrea said, listen, you my friend. You're supposed to be there for me. What you talking about? You don't want no parts. This is a great plan. Her friend was like, Lord have mercy. Honey, her friend is a better friend than I would be. Okay? If my friend was sitting across from me talking that foolishness, now, I'm not one for violence, but I'm looking at my friend like she done had a mental breakdown. Obviously, she done went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs for 5 minutes. You sitting over there talking about you done called this man's PO. You done took this man's birth certificate and debit card. You already done got your kids on the flight on the way back, and you're saying that he ain't going nowhere. Andrea, what is wrong with you? One thing about Lamar has been straight up about the fact that he didn't want to live in Utah. He never wavered. He never said, well, you know what, honey, I'm ready to be a Mormon. I'm ready to get baptized. I'm ready to live in Utah. He ain't never said that. That boy is LA through and through. Andrea, honey, you done made oh my God. So, they get back to the rental, and Andrea was like, that's it, I'm going to have to, break it to Lamar. So she tells Lamar's in the bedroom, and she was like, look, I got something to tell you, okay? We're not going back to LA. And so he was like, man, miss me with that. She says, no, I'm serious. We are not going back to LA. You are staying here. He was like, what? She said, you are staying here. Okay, with us. You're not going back to LA. I don't like LA. This is our home now. And Lamar said, oh no, that ain't happening. And she said, well, I took your birth certificate and your debit cards. Honey, did y'all see when he stood up? I was like, Andrea? I was like, Andrea, girl, get a little closer to that door. Well, what are you doing? So he's looking through his stuff, and he was like, man, where's my birth certificate? Where's my debit card? She said, I'm not going to give it to you. She said, I'm not going to give you your birth certificate or your debit card because you're going to stay here with me. We're not going back to Los Angeles. She said, and guess what? She said, I also called your PO and told her that you are going to finish your parole here in Utah. He said, what? He was like, you done lost your mind. He was like, give me my stuff. And so she was like, no. She was like, this would be a better home for us. He was like, you talked to my PO? Now, what? Now, this is another question, friends. Can she just call up his PO and tell the PO that? I thought there was some type of confidentiality, or the PO just don't talk to the wives, right? I mean, y'all help me out with that. I mean, because I find it very odd that she had a full-blown conversation with this man's PO. Now, did the PO approve this? I'm just confused. Because I I know that the PO has to talk to Lamar and see what's going on here. Okay, so, but anyway, let's move on. So Lamar is fit to be tied. He is upset. He done called Andrea a crazy bee. And she was like, why are you talking to me like that? When I tell you Andrea seen Lamar's left eye twitch, honey, she hightailed it to that bathroom. She was like, I'm going to the bathroom. Y'all, she went to that bathroom and locked the door. She says, I'm going to talk to you through the door. I was like, Andrea, you better not open up that door. Laura was like, you got to be kidding me. You are holding me hostage. Okay? So she's screaming through the door. He's like banging on the door, talking about you kidnapping me. This ain't right. I can't believe you're doing this. Child. Andrea, what was you thinking? Terrible plan. Terrible move. I'm with Lamar on this. Now, if Lamar would have tried to play both sides or gave Andrea a little bit of hope about moving to Utah, okay. I mean, the plan was terrible. Lying and deceiving and manipulating you and playing games, you know, with your marriage and with your husband is just terrible. And it backfired right dead in her face, okay. She's going to have to dig her way out of a huge hole. Terrible plan, terrible idea. Andrea, you're wrong, okay? Just dead wrong, period. So, let me know what you think about Andrea and her little plan. Child, let me know. All right, let's talk about Clint and Tracy. I'm giving this all a 1 minute. Now, I don't even know why they even filmed this mess. So, we have Clint and Tracy. Now, they are in Vegas. They are renewing their vows. And I don't know what happened. They didn't show it. All right. Only thing we know is that Clint got upset with Tracy because Tracy made a joke about drugs. And Clint didn't find it funny. So, they supposed to renew their vows at 7 o'clock. Okay. Clint didn't show up. So Tracy was like, I cannot believe he is standing me up. He is doing this to me. All right. Clint finally wobbles on up, looking foolish. All right. And he says that he's upset. Okay. He did not like the joke that she made. And Tracy was like, are you, what? I made a joke. I thought it was funny. Clint was like, well, I didn't find it funny. All right. I didn't find it funny. And so she was like, after what you just did, you had a whole woman that you was sexting. And you upset with me because I made a little drug joke. All right? You out your mind. She was like, I'm leaving. She had gotten in, opened the door. She had gotten into the car. And so here's Clint. Oh, that's the answer. That's your answer. They going back and forth. Just long story short. All right. She apologizes for making the drug joke. And he apologized about making some joke about that woman. And they are going to renew their vows. Listen, I don't care nothing about Clint and Tracy. It was dumb. It was stupid. That whole fight was stupid. And let's move on. That's all I got for Clint and Tracy. Let's move on. All right. Now, whew, y'all, I'm going to have to eat crow. Let's talk about Lizzie and Broke Down Scott. Now, Lizzie accused Scott of doing drugs. Now, me, myself, I said, no, Scott wasn't doing no drugs because he was shaped like Winnie the Pooh. All right. And plus, we ain't even heard nothing about Scott even doing drugs. But he says that he can't take that drug test because he had a problem. Lizzie went there and took the drug test. She passed with flying colors. And let me just say this, friends. Child, why did Lizzie have that towel on for so long? I was like, girl, if you don't go in there and put some clothes on. So they're in the bathroom. And she was like, is there anything you need to tell me? Tell me now. Tell me now. And so he was like, I have a problem. Okay. I have been using drugs. And she was like, oh my God, why did you tell me? Okay. And so he says that he has been using meth and heroin. Now let me back up, friends. Now, she found that dope spoon, as she calls it. Now, Broke Down Scott informs us that he smoked it. He didn't shoot it up. So, if he smoked it, what's with the dope spoon? Y'all let me know. Because from what I've known from Intervention, y'all remember that show Intervention? Girl, it was so good. Y'all, I love that show Intervention. They would take the drug, put it on a spoon, take a lighter underneath the spoon, melt it, take the needle, pull it through the needle, and then shoot it up. So what's the point of the dope spoon if he was smoking it? Is he lying about shooting it up too, child? Broke Down Scott. Now you got me looking like a fool like Ned in the Funny Papers. Child, you got me up here looking like Ned in the Funny Papers. Broke Down Scott. I was rooting for you. And you up here getting high. You want that stuff. So he's in the bathroom crying. And he says, I've been a drug addict on and off. I need help. And so Lizzie was like, we can get you help. We can get you inpatient, rehab, counseling. I wish you would have told me. And he was like, listen, help me. Okay, I want you to help me. I'm asking for help. Now, y'all, when he was standing there crying, I felt bad for Scott. I was like, oh, Scott. But then, it didn't last long. It only lasted for a couple of seconds when I felt bad for him because I was like, so he goes out there. Lizzie finally leaves and puts some clothes on. He's sitting there and Charlene was like, why didn't you tell me? And so he was like, because the people I tell leave me. And you are important to me. You are my friend. And I didn't want you to leave me. I didn't want you to see me like that. Now here is a woman who has been his friend for 15 years. And she didn't even know. He kept his secret that good. She living with him. And she didn't know that he was getting high. Okay. So Lizzie storms out. She says, listen, I got to go. And he was like, all right, fine. Okay, I knew it. I knew you needed an excuse. Okay, that's why you're leaving. And she was like, Scott, I need to think about some things. All right, I will be back in the morning. All right, so Scott's pissed off, feelings hurt. So she comes back. And she says, come outside. We need to talk. And so she says, listen, Scott, all right, I can't be with you. I'm on parole, and I can't be around anyone who's doing drugs or getting high. I could go back to prison. And so Scott was like, okay, all right, but I love you, all right? I'm going to get help. She said, I knew something was going on, okay? I knew you had been acting strange. And he was like, now, wait a minute. I was not getting high when you got out of prison. I didn't start getting high until you broke my heart. And so she was like, what? She was like, no, I don't believe it. All right, you was acting strange, and that's when he was talking about that he, was not getting high until after she dumped him. He was depressed. He was at his all-time low. He was hanging around some people who, was getting high, and so he started getting high. That's when he said that he was smoking. He was not shooting up. Well, Lizzie done heard all she wanted to hear. She said that it's done. It's a wrap. I ain't going to prison for you. Now, even though Scott supported her for years, with her heroin addict, even though Scott spent $80,000, on you to support your habit, all right? Now, I understand that Lizzie don't want to go back to prison. I understand that. But you dumped him. All right? You dumped him. You chose to go to California to see if things would work out. Okay, I understand that you don't have to have a relationship, but you could at least, be like, look, I can help you, just so you can get back on your feet, just to be a friend, all right? But we can't get back together. But no, okay, she done forgot about all that. She says, too bad, so sad. It's a wrap, all right? So they're in the confessional. There's Lizzie and Scott, all right? Scott has an envelope of all this crap, all the prison love letters. Honey, Lizzie didn't care. Lizzie said, oh, you done kept this? And he was like, yeah, I kept it. Honey, she starts ripping up the prison love letters, throwing it into his face. And honey, he was like, you know what? I ain't got to take this. Did y'all see all those credit cards? Now listen here, friends. Was those credit cards that he tossed around? I said, Lord have mercy. Y'all, what was that, 25 to 30 credit cards? I said, what is that? Who has that many credit cards? That's why he's in debt. That's why he's looking the way that he's looking. And what about y'all when he called Lizzie a tramp? He done called her a tramp, honey. He stormed off through the chair. He knocked the chair over. Lizzie stormed off, and y'all, that's it. Okay, that's it for now. All right, it's a wrap. Lizzie dumped him. All right, first she dumped him because he didn't have no money. Now she dumped him because, he on drugs. Isn't that irony? And that is Lizzie and Scott. Notice anything different? Yes, my shirt. I went and grabbed lunch with a friend. And of course, before I even got inside the restaurant, I had makeup on my shirt. I don't know how that happened. Then of course, while at the restaurant, I dropped food on my shirt. So I need a bib. So I had to come home and I had to change shirts, get a little bit more comfortable. Now, let's get back to this review. Now let's talk about the trio of fools. All right? Child. Let's start off with Megan. All right? Megan is reminiscing about the good times she had with Michael. Looking through pictures of the happier times, okay? Then she pulled out this shoebox full of dead flowers, regret, despair, pain, and tears, all right? And she's talking about how, things was good with her and Michael. She really thought that her and Michael was in for the long haul, okay? Even though she found out that Michael was married and, had a baby on the way, she thought that it could work out. And then what about y'all when she said, I wish that baby wasn't Michael's? I said, Megan. Because she said that if the baby was not Michael's, then it would have made an easier decision for him to get a divorce from his wife. Okay, so here's Megan, here's Sarah, waiting for Michael to make a decision. Why does this boy still have power? Where is you two ladies' power at? Okay, if anything, you should be telling him. And Megan, why in the world would you think, even if Sarah wasn't pregnant, even if Sarah didn't have a baby, even if Sarah had a baby and it wasn't Michael's, why do you think that would make the decision easier? Why do you think that Michael won't do to you what he did to Sarah? Look at how he tossed you away like a dirty Kleenex when he found out you kissed rock. Now let's talk about Sarah and Michael. Now this whole conversation confused the heck out of me. Did it confuse you all? Okay, so we have Sarah. She is there at a rental, meeting up with Michael, because you know Michael have yet to see Rain, and he's there to see Aviana. And again, those kids are so cute. That baby, oh Lord, adorable. You see all that hair, all that head, child. I mean, just a cutie. So Aviana is so happy to see her dad. Did y'all see how happy that girl is? So, Michael holding the baby. Sarah, she was happy to see him too. I mean, it is her husband. So here's Michael saying, you know, I was thinking that maybe we could grab dinner. And so Sarah was like, the whole family? He was like, nah, I was just thinking, you know, just me and you. And so she was like, okay, well, what about? He was like, oh no, Mama and Day said they'll take care of the kids. And Aviana was like, no. Aviana said no. He's so cute. And so Sarah, she was like, oh, okay, so you already got this planned out. You already got this figured out? And so Michael was like, yeah, you know, there's some things that I want to talk about. You know, I want to spend some, you know, time with you. And so they start making a little small talk. They both start laughing. And then it cut to Sarah in the kitchen. Michael is holding Rain, and you can just tell something else went down. But they cut that. They edited that out because Sarah was clearly agitated. Sarah was agitated. Sarah was annoyed. Sarah even said that she's pissed. The more time she's talking to Michael and him being there, the more angrier she got. Now, just 30 seconds ago, y'all had little smiles on your face and y'all was going to go out to dinner. So what happened? So, Sarah says, you know what? The more I think about it, I don't want to go to dinner with you. Okay? I don't want to go to dinner with you. And then here's Michael. Okay, well, I don't want to go to dinner with you either. I was thinking the same thing. And I was like, what? And so Sarah was like, oh, I can't believe this. Are you serious? And so he was like, man, I don't want to do this. I don't want to have this conversation in front of the kids. Well, you wouldn't have the conversation in front of the kids if y'all would have went to dinner. I don't understand what happened. What? Did y'all notice that? And so then Sarah was like, whatever, dude. I'm done. Whatever. And so Michael says, I think we should get a divorce. The look on Sarah's face. She turned around and she was like, she was actually shocked by that. She was actually shocked that Michael says we should get a divorce. At that point, Sarah should be like, oh, I'm ahead of you, buddy. Look at what I got. We good. Hand me my baby. Hand me Rain. Okay, so Michael says that we should get a divorce. Sarah is standing there looking shocked like a deer caught in headlights. And that's how it ended for the trio of fools. Now, let's talk about Latino Heat and Brittany. Now, as you know, Latino Heat then got into a physical altercation with Tito. After Brittany told him, don't get involved. Okay, Tito didn't hear that. Tito heard, let me go over to this man's house and get into a fight in his living room. That's what he heard. So, of course, Brittany is pissed. And that's what she said. She said, I am pissed. I cannot believe Tito did this. He is jeopardizing my custody with my child. So Latino Heat and Brittany goes to the attorney's office. And so he was like, okay, the attorney was like, all right, what's done happened? And so here's Latino Heat. Well, you know, he got into a little bit of a physical altercation. And so the lawyer says, Now, the last time we talked, we were going to get, you know, Tito and all of us together and have a civil conversation. That's what we wanted to do. But Latino Heat, with your dumb self, took it into his own hands and he done did plan B. So now Tito is pissed and we got to move it, okay? We got to move this paperwork. We're going to have to up this hearing, have an emergency hearing, get you in front of the judge, so Tito cannot stop you from having Giovanni. Now Latino, he's sitting there looking like Ned in the funny papers. Brittany was like, listen, I did not want it to be like this. I just want to have time with my child. I do not want to lose the rights to my child, And that's her whole thing. Because of Latino Heat's foolishness, it affected Brittany to where she may not even see Giovanni if Tito is still pissed. So the lawyer was like, let me handle it, okay? All right? We are going to be aggressive with this, okay? We are going to handle this. This is why you pay me. So Brittany, she's filling out the paperwork. And here comes Latino Heat. He says, it's time to put on the war paint. Shut up! Latino Heat, if you don't shut your mouth. You're the reason that Brittany's in the position that she is. Everything was good. Everything was cool. But you had to go in there and act a fool. And now look. So anyway, so they're at the park and some family members come, and I think Brittany's mom and Amanda shows up and several other family members. And they're just talking to them, about what's going down. And Brittany tells Amanda, she says, this could really hurt my time with my son. And I don't ever want to feel that pain that I felt when, I got separated with him. And so, of course, Latino, he's saying that, what he did was effed up. He made a mistake. But, it is what it is. And they're going to go with it. And hopefully it will be, over soon. Now, this is my thing, y'all. I don't think Tito is going to keep Giovanni away from Brittany. I think that what he was doing, this is just my opinion. Y'all tell me if y'all think different. Like I said before, I think Tito was giving Brittany, more time because she hadn't been with Giovanni, because she's been locked up. But that's what I think. And I think that Brittany seen that. That's why she wasn't pressing the issue about full custody. But of course, Latino Heat messed that up. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that Tito was really working with them and was giving Giovanni this extra time and with his mom? I think so. Latino Heat made it seem like Tito was a bomb father. I don't think that at all. But they got to go to court now. Now they have to go to court. And do y'all see how one little action can change everything? A hothead. Latino, he went in there hot-headed, and now this done happened, child. Alright, guys. That is it. Alright? Let me know what you think. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And that's it, friends. Until next week.